Don't move.
As you walk into the accident scene, your eyes quickly notice some people who are hurt. Broken bones, open wounds, and lots of blood. Now, your adrenaline kicks in.
I want you to call 911, tell them we have an unresponsive casualty at 211 Cedarwood Street, and come back to me when you're done.
I knew I had to help the person, and I kind of blanked for a minute and then got back into it because it was just a bit of shock, and then I was like, okay, well, we got to do this and we got to help some patients.
You're there not only to protect yourself, but to protect the other person, and you're in charge of their safety. So it's your responsibility to try to keep your cool the entire time.
It sort of clenches your gut, like you don't know what to do for a second, and then you're like, okay, you have to do this.
Thank goodness this is a first aid competition and that this accident scene just looks like the real thing.
The scenarios are really, really good, and the casualties are really made up quite realistically. So it's very, very realistic scenarios for the kids.
Today our scenario was at a construction site. So that's just proving that there can be injuries anywhere. There can be injuries at schools, at workplaces, and that there's always a way to handle them.
But even though this was a fake scenario, these cadets were in the zone, giving it their all.
They'll get an opportunity to assess the situation, make sure that the area is made safe for the responders, and then they will go and work on the casualty and try and stabilize them and do whatever they can to minimize the extent of the injury and call for help if they need it.
You get a little nervous because you haven't done it before and it's a new experience, and it's also putting some pressure on you because you're representing your corps and you need to try to do your best and keep that going for the entire 20 minutes without stopping.
There was 4 of us and 2 casualties, and so we were trying to help the one that was injured the most and also help the one that was not as injured at the same time, so it was a bit of a challenge.
A challenge? That's for sure. But this hands-on experience that these cadets now have could mean the world of difference in a real-life accident.
I can just see in them how much they've learned. I mean, some of these kids have just joined cadets, and some of these kids have been in for a couple of years but never did a first aid event. So I'm really proud of them, and they're doing awesome.
It's a first aid team. It's not just about one person, because sometimes you need help from other people because you can't do everything yourself because the situations you could be in can be pretty dense.
I learned that you can never be too prepared, and it's never going to be something you expect, like always expect the unexpected.
For more information about Army Cadets in your area, visit their website. In Port Alberni, I'm Jenny Fortin.